every week for 10 minutes on varied topics. So it's going to start with me since I'm the president of the club, but going forward, we also have veteran members like Toastmaster Abhijit, DTM Nikhil, DTM Gokul, and others who will follow up in the league, and they will also be presenting the mini education sessions. Now, these mini education sessions are not typically the Toastmaster style. It could be very beneficial for each one of you, where how you address problems in your professional life, in your corporate journey, many other instances, how to build more empathy, effectiveness, resilience, because this was something which we got as a pool of consensus from different people. But today's session is going to be one powerful session which is on mentor-mentee relationship. In Toastmasters, and this is for the guests, once you become a Toastmaster, the first thing which we assign you is a mentor. How are you going to progress with your journey using the mentor's guidance, the mentor's capability, and the mentor's wisdom? So I have a small presentation, and that I'm going to finish in just about 10 minutes. Then what we'll be doing today is the mentor-mentee session. I would like to start by giving my, I would say, gratitude to my mentors, DTM Rohit Koka and DTM Namita Parthasarthi. They are the current mentors that I have. Previous mentors have changed because they left Toastmasters. But what I have learned from these two mentors have been immense. I have not put their names, but I'm just telling you for the benefit of the audience. So I believe this session is called Together We Rise. It's a blueprint for partnership and collaboration and growth in Toastmasters. Next slide. So what basically happens in a Toastmasters journey is, without the mentor, you can go to an extent, but with the mentor, you actually climb the ladder very fast. So one way of doing is, you write the speech, you show it to your mentor, and the mentor actually sees the speech. This is actually a typical standardized, but a very sustainable format. If, for example, DTM Gokul is my mentor, what I do is I write my speech, my first speech, I show it to him. He will have his own insights, his own ideas on how the speech can be made better. He gives me inputs, and I work on those inputs and present it back in the club, like you saw two speakers speaking today. And that actually shapes my speaking journey. To start right away with the mentor. So regular attendance, without intentional guidance, you stay where you are. It becomes a plateau zone. But with the mentor, there is a constant and continuous asset. When we talk about DTM Nikhil and myself in the club as district champions, it has been the constant guidance of the mentor. A mentor's role is very powerful in Toastmasters. Next slide. So it is not something like a mentor only tells you what needs to be done. Many Toastmasters have this myth that I write my speech, I go to the mentor says, okay, you have to change this part of the speech, and it is done. It's not only that much. It is not a relationship that is built on dependency and instruction. A mentor's job is not to inspire, but to guide. There is a big difference. A mentor is someone who can be your age, who can be senior to you, who can be junior to you, but who walks by you, who walks the next side by you on the same path alongside you. So what the reality is the approach. A mentor is someone who helps you discover what you can do. You have written a speech, or you want to excel in table topics, or you want to excel in evaluation. The mentor is able to tell you, see, this is your style. Maybe if you add on to this, this can help you make your speeches greater, or this can help you give more courage when you are attempting table topics or evaluation. The mentor is a very dynamic person because he or she builds on partnership, which leads to empowerment and more exploration. I have had some very fabulous time with my mentors because it was because of DTM Rohit Koka that I participated in the humorous speech contest, because trust me, I don't know how many of you will resonate with me. I don't come from a family where people are very highly humorous. They are intellectuals, intelligent, but they are not humorous. Okay? And Toastmasters teaches you to break all those myths, shed all those barriers, and become the very divine version of yourself. But still, coming to humor, I got a third place in the club contest. That itself was a revelation for me. And I look at the trophy and I think this is even better than the district table topics which I got in the first week, because that is something I'm always good at. So a mentor breaks all those barriers. So it's a mutual growth. Mentors reinforce their own learning because you will learn a lot from the mentor's insights. And in BTM, we follow this on a very professional level. All the people have mentors here. We could be mentees to someone. We are also mentoring people at BTM. And just like our guest Rashmi said today, Toastmaster Pragyan's speech, next time when she's giving a speech, please do come to our club and see how much she has improved in her speaking journey and what fabulous stories she brings to the club when she plays. I'm sure all the members will agree with me on this.
Absolutely.
See, they've already raised their hands. Yeah, Pragyan has come a very, very long way. And we also have Toastmaster Shalini, the one who shares my name. When she gave her icebreaker, it was mind-blowing. And I'm very proud to say that that day we had 3 speeches. I am her mentor and she wrote such a beautiful text to me saying that I really look forward to being a part of this club and improve my speaking journey. But you know that one certificate, one ribbon gives you that confidence that you never imagined that you would get. So this is all about the mutual growth that the mentor and the mentee have. The next one. This is the kind of the 4 pillars that you can see. The first is the foundation, mastering the meeting roles. A mentor is not only supposed to give you ideas on how to write your speeches or table topics. The roles in the club, you saw so many roles people took today. Okay, I was the presiding officer, Toastmaster Karthik was the sergeant at arms, then we had DTM Nikhil as the Toastmaster of the day. So these are called meeting roles, a typical Toastmasters meeting. So you excel in that. Then expression, preparing powerful speeches, mastering spontaneity. Today there were 2 speeches, one from another club and one from our own club. But don't you think both the speeches were extremely powerful? They had a lasting impact on the audience. Now it's going to be a hard time for you when you're going to vote. Okay? Then you have the catalyst, harnessing the power of evaluations. Evaluations make us very analytically strong, sharp, and how you give back the feedback to the person without hurting the person's sentiments, but telling exactly the areas where the speaker can improve. And of course, it leads to evolution, where achieving self-mentorship and guiding others. Now, self-mentorship is very much possible in Toastmasters. Once you complete a path has got 16 to 17 speeches, people go into self-mentorship. I am one person who still thinks I need a mentor, so I will go and tell the mentor, see, these are some things, I'm never satisfied with what I do. So I go back to the mentor and ask him that what is it that you can suggest to me as an improvement. And sometimes the mentor's evaluations for your speech actually are clues which you can use in your own evaluations during the evaluation speech contest. This is something which I realized. So Toastmasters is like a 360-degree transformation. Not even 360, the double of 360, 720-degree transformation. I have used my mentor's ideas in my evaluation because I have not deleted even one single recorded message of his, what he told me in my feedback for my speeches. So you evolve. Somewhere the mentor's feedback helps you in some other contest. So you not only evolve in that linear journey, but like I said, it's not even 360, it's a 720-degree evolution. The next one. This is how it works. The guidance from the mentor starts with the timer's role. You saw the timer coming up and presenting the time guidelines. Today we were very happy that DTM Gokul is a timer because he is one person who is extremely sharp and precise when it comes to time. Our counter and grammarian, we have a very new member who has taken up the our counter's role, Toastmaster Manish. And you saw how he executed that so well. You have the table topics master, the evaluator. We will come up with our evaluation report when we are called upon on stage. These are the roles metrics where the mentor can really help you. But these are the things that one has to do. Do not wait for big roles. When I first joined Toastmasters, I was the grammarian for 4 months. Then I told them, it's over now. I cannot be the grammarian because I'm first of all giving complex to Ren and Martin, the grammar gurus. And second thing, I'll start getting grammarians dreams, which I don't want. Then you go consistently into the Toastmaster of the day role. Then take up the timer's role. All the small roles lead to the big roles, the biggest roles being the Toastmaster of the day and the general evaluation, which comes by taking the smaller roles. Take the mentor's guidance in every role possible. Next slide. So this is how the mentor helps you in the prepared speech. You write your speech, review and adjust. First, this is the creation loop. You plan, you practice, and then you get feedback. So you write your speech, you refine them, you practice with the mentor. Sometimes mentors will ask you to send you the video recording of your speech, and then whatever feedback you get, you put into practice the feedback brought by the mentor. Okay? The next one. Now, many members fear table topics. I could see many of the guests who came and said that, I'm not very confident. And then with that little push by another guest or the member, that particular person was able to speak. So, when you look at this, in table topics, Talk to your mentor. If these are the topics that come to me, some random topics, how do I address them? We do a lot of sessions on education sessions on table topics as well. How to address. So you remember, even if a person who comes on the stage and falters a little bit in the beginning, with that gentle push, and imagine if it keeps continuously and consistently coming from the mentor, how better we can become as a speaker. The next one. The evaluation is something which sounds like this. What did I do well? What can I improve? What should I focus on next? Now when you saw the two people who came and spoke, we'll be evaluating them. But after that, what the speakers will do is, they will go back to their mentors and they will tell the mentors, this was my speech, this was my evaluation. Where do you think I can add more to the evaluator's evaluation? This is what the speaker will do in our club after the session is given. So evaluation helps you to become sharper, more analytical. Next one. Now, growth does not happen during meetings. It happens before meetings and even after meetings. Do the early preparation, multiple practices, mentors guidance, confidence, and then what we saw today was peak performance by two people. And we move on to the next. And it is a lot of accountability as well. I'm not reading the entire thing because I'm just explaining to you. Have that accountability partnership with the mentor. Don't leave the mentor in the lurch, and don't start imagining that I can do everything on my own in the initial stages. Once you sit with the mentor, sometimes I've even seen mentors and mentees, they go out for tea, coffee, okay, or have lunch together. Have that good connect, that accountability relationship with the mentor, because that person is someone who's going to lead you the longer way. Can you move on to the next one? And like I mentioned, you can become a self-mentor. In Toastmasters, it is recommended that once you complete a path, you know how all the speeches are in one path, you can mentor your own self as well. So the mentee phase is learning, practicing and applying. The mentor phase is guiding, refining and empowering. I am very happy to say that in the last 2-3 weeks, people whom I have mentored have either won the area contest in evaluation or table topics. I feel very good because somewhere the mentoring is working for them. These are not the regular mentees, these are people who are just coming because some division directors or area directors have recommended them to come and speak to me. Okay, we move on. So learn every role, prepare every speech, embrace all feedback, very very important, and stay committed. Sometimes people don't take feedback in a positive way, but it has to be taken because this is our place to grow. Are we done? We do not just grow individually, we rise together, and the mentor-mentee relationship is very powerful. I have seen some of the mentor-mentee relationships in such a way that they have very long, powerful discussions, but that is what helps both of them. And for the mentors, you learn a lot from the mentees' speeches as well. We become better speakers when we listen to each other. That was a session about the mentors and the mentees. Together, we all rise. Okay, back to the next one.